Hello everyone, welcome back to Writing Tips, Tricks, and Tropes. When I write, I struggle a lot with setting. I know where my story is taking place, and when, almost 24/7. But I struggle with sharing that information with my reader. They can't see what I see. I need to show it to them. The rule I was taught is that each page you should have at least some kind of indication of where the character is. You can tell the reader on one page where they are, but to carry the desired tone of your setting, your character should take note of or interact with their surroundings at least once each page, or at least every couple of pages, but that's still kind of pushing it. You don't want your reader to ever feel lost, so how can we help the reader know where they are at all times? Well, there's a few tricks that I've picked up. 3 things, but first let's go over senses. Your character has 5 senses, and they will use that to register what they see, smell, hear, taste, and touch. Circumstances therein might restrict one or more of those senses, but let's go ahead and stick with the 5 for now. Here's an example. Your character is trapped in a dark cave. They can't see much, maybe the outline of some items, but overall it's pitch black. So they rely on their other senses, the sound of dripping water, the smell of earth and stone, the soft breeze in their face that indicates an opening in the rock that could lead to their freedom, the taste of blood on their lip because they bit their lip by accident when they fell into the cave. That tells me a lot about where they are, how they got there, and how they might get out of there. But we can take it a step further. We integrate these moments into interactions with the environment. Your character is active, not passive. What do they do in their setting? How will they get out of the cave? What is their plan? It's dark in this cold, wet cave they've fallen into. They can taste blood on their lip from when they fell. They can't see anything, even as they try to adjust their eyes to the darkness. They take a small step forward. Their foot becomes wet. Then they take another step. It's dead quiet, besides the slow, steady drip of water somewhere to the right. They suddenly realize they can feel air hitting their face. It can only mean one thing, a way out. They continue forward, taking careful steps, reaching out their hands to steady themselves against the wall as they move forward. Their footsteps echo in the cavern, falling in step with the dripping water. That told us a lot about the character and the setting. There's a character they want out, and they're being cautious as they move forward in this unfamiliar place, and they feel uneasy. At least that's what we can assume by how cautious they're being. But we can't know that unless the author tells us, which leads us to the third part of building your setting. Your character's reaction to the space. What are they feeling? What does their internal monologue say? Is this expected, or is it a surprise? What do they think of all this? The character tumbled headfirst into the cave, biting their lip as they hit the cold, wet ground. They knew they shouldn't have taken that bet. It was bad enough they were out $30, but now the front of their shirt was soaking wet. They tasted blood on their lip as they pushed themselves onto their feet. Their body ached. The ringing in their ears was accompanied by a steady dripping of water somewhere to their left. They blinked, trying to adjust to the darkness. They could make out some shadowy outlines, but other than that, nothing. Great. All they had wanted was to get home. Today had been awful from the start. Burnt toast, ruining their lucky cap, losing $30. They didn't need this. They blindly felt for the wall, finding it. The gritty earth was wet to the touch. Suddenly they felt a small gust of wind. They jumped a little, frightened. But then they realized it was a steady flow of air coming from up ahead. That could only mean one thing, a way out. Hope bloomed in their chest. They took slow, careful steps forward. Sometimes they tripped on the uneven ground. They hesitated when they felt one foot forward and felt nothing but empty air. They wished they had brought their phone. And that is a complete scene where setting is easily incorporated to your character's story. It's more than just saying that they fell into a cave and had to find a way out. And that last line tells me that this is definitely taking place in modern day. Some of you might have been imagining a D&D character who lost their way, but this new interaction accompanied by modern language tells us this is definitely taking place modern day. So those are the 3 main rules I stick to help me incorporate setting into my own writing. Setting can be a bit more complicated and require more setup if you're writing a place that doesn't actually exist. You can't just say Middle Earth or Cybertron or Equestria and expect a new reader to already know exactly what you're talking about with no explanation. In those cases, you need to take more time to integrate your reader into the setting. But other than that, that's pretty much everything I have on setting. You should definitely play around with it. Put your character in new places or old ones and see how they interact, react, and analyze their surroundings. What do they pay attention to? What do they take from the situation? And what happens when there's other characters with them? Interactions with characters and the setting are more difficult for me because I tend to focus more on the dialogue rather than the explanation bit, but it's less important. You still need to integrate all of that in order to create a full picture for your reader. Without a setting, your character is just hovering in a blank white space. Alone. Empty. Small. Meaningless. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this video. Outros don't exist in my setting. Bye!